right. We'd like to welcome and congratulate the winner of the 2025 Truist Championship, Sepp Straka. Sepp, this is your fourth PGA Tour win, second this season, and with the win, you move to number 2 in the FedEx Cup. Can you just open up with some thoughts about how it feels to be back in the winner's circle?
It's great. This year's been pretty good to me. Really grateful for all the hard work from the people that don't get to stand on that 18th green and celebrate. The whole team, my wife, the stuff that she does every day for me to be able to do this. My parents that sacrificed pretty much every trip that they didn't take trips without golf trips. So it was really special to get this win, and just really grateful for the people in my life that allow me to play golf this way.
We'll go ahead and open to questions. If you can raise your hand, we'll start here in the front row.
Sepp, you talked yesterday about managing your emotions today, knowing you were going to feel terrible while you were trying to do it. What were you feeling when you stepped into that bunker on 18? First of all, what did you hit, and what were you feeling?
The drive was not a terrible drive, but the wind was a little off the right and just turned it over a little too much, went in the bunker, and I was just hoping for a good lie walking down there, and I got that. We had about 212 hole. I can't remember exactly, but hit 4-iron. And my fairway bunker game has historically been pretty bad. So this week it's been really good, and was able to kind of capitalize on that and make good contact. And it was one of the better shots I hit this week.
Sean?
I wanted to confirm a couple of things. Your brother was more heavily recruited than you, is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
And you're now supposed to go in the top 10 of the world ranking. I guess, how do you go from that to becoming a top 10 player in the world? What do you credit that to?
I would say consistency at working at it, regardless of where I was in my game. Junior golf, I wasn't all that good. I definitely had some talent. I could hit the golf ball fairly well, but very rough around the edges. And at Georgia, I just felt like I kept getting better. Had a quick bout with the chipping yips my junior year and redshirted, but other than that, I felt like I just kept getting better. And after I graduated, same thing. I just kept trying to improve my golf game regardless of where I was compared to other people in my class, because my high school class was pretty stacked. A lot of guys finishing early and going on to the PGA Tour, and I was definitely not one of those. But regardless of where I was, I just kept trying to improve my golf game and hoped that at the end of it, it would be good enough to kind of play out here.
And when you first came out, you were maybe a longer hitter who was kind of inconsistent, and you've given up some distance but become very consistent. When did you kind of make the decision that giving up some distance for consistency was the way to go, and how did you go about it?
The big thing was just switching to John Tillery as my swing coach. Just the stuff we worked on. Once I started working with him, my iron play got really good, and at that point I was just very much concerned with getting the ball in the fairway, so I could take advantage of that with my iron game. And it just kind of naturally happened. I mean, it's not a crazy switch. I went from like 174 ball speed to about 170 or so. I've been able to hit a lot of fairways in the last couple of years, and been able to kind of take advantage of my iron play that way.
Come over here to Bob.
Sepp, you had mentioned earlier in the week that precision would be the key to getting around here. Were you happy with the way you handled that, and can you talk a little bit about how important it was?
Yeah, for sure. It's not the best ball striking week I've had. Off the tee the first 2 days, I hit it terrible. I felt like I had the high yachts going up with the driver the second round, and made a little bit of a kind of a tweak with my takeaway, just a little sequence thing. And from then on, striking it really well with the driver. Iron play was decent. I wouldn't say it was great, but the putter was just excellent this week. I didn't miss above the hole very often, and was able to kind of take advantage of that with putting. Made a lot of mid-range putts, and that's something you have to do when you want to win a golf tournament.
Marcus?
Hey, Sepp, what was your caddy situation today or this week? I think it was Drew was out there with you, and not. How did that come about, and what was the relationship like?
Yeah, Dewey he hurt his back on Thursday last week, my usual caddy, and he told me on Sunday night that it was starting to get better, and then it kind of locked up Sunday night. And so he just kind of made sure that I had a backup plan in case it didn't get better. And reached out to Drew, who I play golf with a lot in Birmingham. Yeah, he immediately hopped on a flight and was up here ready to go. And very fortunate that he was able to do that, obviously. I've played a lot of golf with him, so I was very comfortable being beside him. And it was a lot of fun having him on the bag, really. Dewey's been here all week supporting us, and just really grateful for those two guys. And Dewey was also there to hug me on the 18th green, and just really, really thankful.
And what was Drew do? What was his plan for this week if he wasn't here with you?
He plays professionally. He's on the mini tours, so he didn't have a tournament this week, and so it was easy for him to kind of change his plans and come up here for the week.
We'll go right over here.
Sepp, on Friday, you'd mentioned that you wished you had another 20 yards to handle the fairway bunkers that are out there 300 yards. Obviously, you handled it well. What was the key for you, driving and handling those fairway bunkers?
Yeah, it was nice. The weather cooperated for sure. If the weather was like Friday, I wouldn't have been able to hit it over any of those bunkers. But yeah, my driver I gained a little bit of speed over the weekend. I saw some. Haven't looked today, obviously, but yesterday some 174, 75 ball speeds, which is pretty unusual for me. And that was nice. I was hitting it out of the middle of the face on just about every tee shot, and just knowing that that's the case, I was able to kind of be a little more aggressive off the tee than I was the first 2 days.
Hey, Sepp, how did you kind of bounce? Oh, sorry, over here. How did you kind of bounce back and settle yourself after the bogeys on 10 and 11?
I felt like I did a really good job today of just taking every shot for what it is. I looked at the leaderboards, but I didn't really pay too much attention. I knew that if I executed, I'd have a chance. And, I made a lot of mistakes out there. Hit a lot of good shots, but I made a lot of mistakes. And fortunately, was able to kind of keep centered and keep trying to just execute. And, those two bogeys were pretty tough. I was in a pretty good spot there going in the back nine. And, 3-putt on 10 it was kind of up against the collar, so it was kind of a tough flag putt. But after that, I just told myself just to keep at it, keep just trying to execute each golf shot for what it is, and fortunately, that was good enough.
Got a couple over here, and then we'll come to SI.com.
Sepp, I saw you and Shane chatting when you're walking off the first tee. He was definitely one of the fan favorites on the property this week. What was it like playing this final round with him as you go toe-to-toe, and how did you stay in it mentally? Yeah, it was great. Shane's an awesome guy. He's one of my favorites too. So it was fun to hear support for him out there. He's one of my favorite people to play with. He's a fiery competitor, but a really good friend as well. So it was really fun battling with him, and just grateful for him.
Go ahead, and then we'll go to you next, Marcus.
Sepp, just was wondering how you kind of feel going into a major championship off of a win, and how you perhaps feel about playing a big event like this the week before one of the toughest events in golf.
Yeah, last week I actually didn't touch a golf club, this week was kind of like a see what I got situation. Fortunately, the putter cooperated early, kind of kept me in it the first couple rounds, and then my ball striking started feeling better and better. So really, really looking forward to kind of continuing that ball striking and just trying to keep getting better every day.
Marcus next, and then we'll come into the back row.
So they rerouted the course to make 16, 17, and 18 sort of the teeth of the course, and that's kind of how it played out. You go par, 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 and he goes bogey, par, bogey. You win by 2. What did you think about the setup, and did you think that it was a fair test? And what do you think about those 3 finishing holes, and what they ask of you?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really, teeing off on 1 was really nice because it felt like as you kept going, the round kept getting harder and harder, with a few easier holes sprinkled in. But it was, I like the routing a lot. I love the way it finishes naturally with 10 and 11. I bogeyed those 2 holes, so maybe that wouldn't have turned out too good for me. But Yeah, no, I thought they did a really good job. There's a little more room for infrastructure out there on the 18 as well, which probably helped out. And it is a really cool place. I think it was fun to play it in kind of 4 different conditions. The first day being very benign, and then kind of the rain, then the wind, and then today it kind of started getting a little firmer, but not quite as much wind. So really fun to play the course in all 4 different conditions, and it kind of made you think a lot, especially teeing off.
Sepp, I saw you over here.
There we go.
Hello. I saw Rory waiting for you at the end there. That was a nice moment. What did he say to you?
He told me at least this win counts for Ryder Cup points. So, really happy for that. You know, I've been kind of behind in the points because of that win at Amex, not counting. And but I knew that if I just kept playing good golf, I would have a chance to be there. And I'm sure this will probably help me out with the rankings a lot. So, very grateful, and hopefully I can keep the good play going and keep getting some more points.
Sepp, hi. Congratulations. You mentioned how hard you've worked to get to this point, but when you think back to a couple years ago, you were outside the top 200 in the world. Now you're a 4-time winner, top 10 player in the world. What emotions come to mind as you think about how hard you've worked to get to this point?
Just very grateful, because it's not just my hard work. My coaches, I switched to John Tillery right about that time, and Tim Yelverton, I'd been working with him for about a year, and the work that they put in day out is very special, and it makes it easier for me to go out and try to get better, because I know that they're doing everything they can to help me out. And I think it's just kind of a culmination of a lot of people putting in a lot of work that's gotten me to this point.
Go back to Sean.
Did you also change the setting on your driver before the 3rd round?
No, setting's the same.
And do you remember exactly when you started with Tillery?
That would have been it was about 3 months before the Honda win that I had back in 2022. There we go. Perfect.
And then we're going to go over to the left here.
Can you just talk about this whole experience, having this event here in Philadelphia, and how would you say the fans were this week?
It was incredible. It was awesome. You always hear about Philly sports fans, and it really is true. I mean, they get into it. They were out there during the practice rounds all the way through the end on Sunday, and just really special. You could really feel that everybody was happy to have the event here, and it made it so much fun to play in front of those fans. I rooted for the Eagles a little bit last year because my Bulldogs had a lot of guys on defense there. So, every time I heard a "Go Birds," it was kind of fun to hear that. But it was an awesome experience to play in front of the Philly fans, and I think next year maybe the PGA is coming back here. So, really looking forward to that opportunity.
Fantastic. If there's no further questions, one more from Bob.
Just a quick odd one. What were your first impressions when you saw the winner's trophy? That's a cricket bat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's a one and done. So that's going to be my most special trophy for sure.
All right, we'll end it there. Thank you all for your questions.
Thank y'all.